Some things.
are worth the wait.
So tell our valuable viewers a little bit about this bottle, Frank.
Well, this is the Maker Cellar aged, of course, and it was pretty tough to get. We ended up being in Kentucky when it was being released, and we got some advice from some people that if you wanted to get a hold of it, you should camp out overnight at the distillery, because if you show up in the morning before they open, it was kind of a crapshoot as to whether you'd actually get one.
It was a long time sitting in a Toyota Tundra. And we saw some people crashing on the Maker's Mark Road going in.
Yeah.
But we got there. We waited overnight. We slept in my truck. This is total dedication for the channel. As you can see, the bottle's already open. You can probably see that video in a live that I'm sure Frank will link somewhere in this video. But I feel like this bottle is special enough and took enough time that we should sit down and actually talk about it with you guys.
Yeah, it was. We did crack it live in Kentucky. But then a couple nights later, I decided I wanted to go back to it. In the live, we were kind of like it was okay. But when we tried it a few days later, it was actually pretty good. So having let it sit for a bit, we want to see if it opened up.
Yeah. So, well, it's your bottle, so I'll let you do the pouring on this one. A rare treat for you guys. Frank is doing the pouring, and Maker's Mark did choose to use a real cork on this, which I thought is interesting. It's not a synthetic cork. It's not a screw top. It's a real cork. If you're into that kind of thing. Something percent, something age whiskey. We'll talk about that. I forget. There's so much information.
Yeah, we got it. 13% whiskey aged 11 years, 87% whiskey aged 12 years.
In a cellar.
How much you want, Mr. Luke?
However much you want to give me, I'll take a bottle pour.
I don't know.
Swirl it around. Oh, I spilled a little bit. It's okay. Now it smells good in here.
Yeah, I mean, this was, leading up to Kentucky. This is all over the place, kind of mid to end September. People talking about it. It's just the new Pappy.
The new everybody freak out. This is like the best thing in the world.
I think a lot of what's driving this is makers releasing like an actual high age stated bourbon is pretty interesting.
Only 30,000 bottles too.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a lot, but it's not. That's 30,000 bottles. I don't know if I'm pretty sure that's worldwide, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I think what happened is, right, it's this kind of harder to find bottle and, anything like that. People, there's a lot of hype around it, and I think people tried to capitalize on the hype, right? Make like this really eye-catching video and, articles, and then it just kind of snowballed, right? I think people were excited about it, and then other people started saying that it was supposedly amazing.
Yeah, this is also cask strength, by the way. I don't know where the proof is. The proof must be on this side. It's a confusing bottle. 115.7 proof. Really cool bottle. If you actually get to hold one, you probably can't tell in the video, but it's actually contoured like a cellar wall, and the bottom's kind of sloped. It's a really cool design bottle. But let's get into a little notes on this nose. This is first sip, first smell of the night for us. A little limestone chocolate.
Yeah, for me, I don't get a ton on the nose. It's pretty oak heavy.
Like a rich oak. I get a good amount of milk chocolate from this.
I get a little bit of a chocolate thing.
Maybe a little citrus going on. But I don't know what kind of citrus it is. Some kind of fruit like a plum. Maybe a fig. No ethanol on the nose, I'll tell you that. It's a very smooth nose. You can't really get the alcohol at all.
Yeah, not a lot of burn.
It's interesting because they say whiskeys age faster when it's hotter, right? So this was aged in a cellar where it's kept cold. So this being a majority 12-year whiskey, is it really tastes like a 12-year whiskey?
Yeah, that was... I had mentioned it in the live. I think the age statement on this is a bit of a gimmick. Because I would bet that most of that aging is happening in the cellar,
Oh,
where
100%.
there's not a lot of temperature change.
Just looking at the legs on the glass.
Yeah.
It's very, very, what's the word? I can't think of words anymore. Very satisfying. That's the word. Stay in school. Ready for a sip?
Yeah.
Ready for a sip. Cheers to all you fine people. Frank's drinking out of his brand new Eagle Rare glass that we got at Not Woodford. Got a good Kentucky hug on there.
Yeah, that proof came in pretty hard for that first sip.
I mean, if I were to pick up anything, I would just say like malted oak. It's like a maltiness to this, which might just be that chocolate that I'm getting. Some kind of leather in there, but it's like a young leather. I don't know. It's weird. Nothing offensive about it. I like the flavors a lot, but again, that was first sip, so I'll have to go in for another round.
Yeah, I'm waiting a second or two and going for a second sip.
Finish is long, but the finish is dry. Are you getting that dry finish?
Yeah. Very
Like-
dry oak finish for me.
Yeah, so I think it's the oak. Getting more vanilla on the nose now. Yeah, nose hasn't changed too much since the first sip. All I get is maybe a little more vanilla. Chocolate's still present in the oak.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go for a second one.
Second sip. Cheers. Second sip brought a little more vanilla caramel sweetness, but again, Maker's Mark is interesting because it's one of the only wheated bourbons that I actually get a spice from. I get a good spice from the wheat, which I find very interesting. I don't know if it's the red winter wheat that I get it from, but it's a spice that quickly turns into sweet. And I wouldn't call it proof either, because it's not like a proof burn. It's like a grain burn.
Yeah.
We paid, what, $150 for this, we should add?
Yeah.
MSRP. Secondary on this bottle, I've seen upwards of 900 smackaroos. Don't know how I feel about that. Probably wouldn't pay 900.
I don't know about you, but for me, this one's really getting me.
Oh, really? Proof-wise, getting you?
Yeah.
We need to get, like, droppers. Like the little eyeglass things. I guess maybe I'll add a little bit of water. This is the Whiskey Bible way of adding water, so I'm just going to add a tiny, teeny bit. Just a little bit. Just a drop. Boop. See how that turns out. Sponsored by Deer Park. I wish. We'll let that kind of sit there and bake for a little bit. Let's go a little more onto the story. So at Maker's Mark to wait for this. It was only the month of September. They're not doing it anymore. So if you're seeing this video, it's too late. You should have watched our live. So it's your fault. You can't sit in the Maker's Mark parking lot. They keep the gates closed. You can't go in there. So you have to wait on this side road in the middle of the abyss. And you have to wait there. And then 7 o'clock is when the gates open to the parking lot. So you all like line up. You drive up to the main entrance. And then they let you in. They give you a ticket. And then you can come back as long as you're there before 4 o'clock. You can pick up your bottle. So pretty cool system. You don't have to wait at the distillery because you already waited there all night. Security was very nice. They came around and made sure everybody was being legit because people try to sneak up, and cut the line. Because we fell asleep for I fell asleep for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. And when I fell asleep, there was maybe 7 cars there. When I woke up, there was probably about 40 cars there.
Yeah, I'll throw your picture up on screen.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Of how many cars. And, I mean, there was good, 30 to 40 somewhere in that, it went around the corner. You couldn't even see them all. And most people had, 2, 3, 4 people in a car.
Yep.
I think how many did they give out that day? Around 50 or something?
Yeah, under 50.
Yeah.
Under 50 bottles that day.
So it might have only been like 30 something bottles that they actually gave out.
Yeah, we don't know the exact number. We were first in line though, so we were good. It's funny because right when we showed up, somebody showed up literally like 5 minutes after us.
Yeah, I thought it was going to, as we were backing in, somebody else drove up. I thought it was going to be like security telling us to get out of there.
Yeah.
But no, it's just some other guy, As far as the staying overnight, it sounds like a pain, but when you're in a vehicle and not like standing around or like in a tent or something. It was actually pretty nice.
And not to self-incriminate ourselves, but you can enjoy a glass of your favorite beverage along the way.
Yeah,
Helps out a lot.
but we hung out with some other people. Maybe shared some things with them. Maybe they shared some stuff with us. Watched a movie. Not the best night's sleep,
Mm-mm.
but
No way.
I guess I figured the other way is we hang out at the hotel room and we sleep till 4, and then we got to get up and go.
Yeah.
So
Now going into this, I'm getting more of a little bit of a red fruit.
yeah, I don't know if it was just we let it sit a bit longer. Maybe we should have left it out before we started the video.
This bottle really, really opens up well to air. It's like
Now I'm getting that chocolate is super strong now.
chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah, very fruity. I'm getting a bit of vanilla. That nasty oak is pretty much gone completely. Like I was getting at first like sawdusty oak.
Mm. Yeah, much better nose now after it's sat and we added a little bit of water.
Well, this smells like something I want to drink.
Okay. Cheers. I got one sip left.
Yeah, I'm close. That is good.
That was good. That was really good. Wowee.
That's like candy.
Candied like cherry starbursts and vanilla icing, and so still a little dry on the finish for me, but really sweet palate. I just think the oak that they're using is just coming on as a dryness, but way smoother. It really opens up nice if you cut that proof a little bit.
Yeah, I'm tempted to believe that that's the water.
The water that brought out the sweetness.
Yeah.
Wonder how this would be on and this is totally against our religion of the whiskey Bible. On a nice big rock.
Yeah, on the rocks, cool it down a little.
Yeah, water it down a little bit. I mean, that would be like breaking one of our 10 commandments, but there's no, if you do that, there's nothing wrong with drinking your whiskey that way. It's just not how we personally enjoy our whiskey.
It's okay from time to time, but there is, the Glencairn is great for nosing, and it's very hard to get an ice cube in there.
Yep. All right, I'm going to take my last sip.
Yeah, I got a good...
To the last drop. Yeah, definitely a fruity vanilla bomb once you add water. Was that your vanilla bomb that you were looking for? Did you get more vanilla or did you get more fruit from it doing that way? Because I feel like I got a good combination of both.
It was pretty even. I wasn't really getting... I was getting fruit before. I wasn't getting the vanilla. This kind of got a nice, creamy, chocolatey vanilla. Very nice.
Yeah, 2023 release. Don't let them fool you. This is going to be an annual release. This is taking over for the wood finishing series. This is the Cellar Age series. So if you missed out on this year, I guarantee you there's probably going to be more bottles next year. I think next release will probably have more bottles, and they'll probably run it a lot better.
Do you think? What do you think about a rating?
Part of me is partial to it because we got it in Kentucky, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
$150. I'm not going to factor in the waiting all night. I'm not going to factor that in at all. To me, if I were to walk in and get offered this bottle for $150, taste it at that, I'd give it a 9.
Yeah, I'm at 8.5 or 9. I don't think I can give it the 10.
No.
It's not quite there. I think personally, this is one, it's really good, but you do need to let it sit. Maybe add some water, add some ice.
The neck pour on this is brutal.
Yeah, this
just
coming out of the bottle it's not great.
I tasted it. It just tasted like Baker's cash strength to me. I was like, what did I wait all night for? I was a lot disappointed. But I tried to put on a happy face for you guys during the live, but I was not a happy man.
Yeah, this at 150 is pretty much always a buy. If I walked in anywhere and this was 150, I'd get it. You start getting much more than that, I don't know. I don't think I'd go more than two. Now I already have a bottle.
Right.
But even I don't. I think to somebody who hasn't had it, I wouldn't go more than 200. I don't think it's that. Luke's like,
Yeah, I mean, to me, just thinking about value wise, if you don't have a bottle and you happen to walk in a store and you see it for 250 or like 260, 270, and you're a Makers fan, I'm a Makers fan, and you're a Makers fan, I say grab it because, first off, that's like an actual really good price considering the secondary market. And I think it'd be a conversation piece to sit there and be like, hey, I got this first ever release of the Cellar Age. You know, it's pretty cool.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Maker's Mark Cellar Age is great. Goodbye. Oh, and I'm sorry. I'm Luke.
I'm Frank.
And remember to stay in school.